I refused to let my mother-in-law feed my 3-month-old because I'm not her cow. Now she's turning the whole family against me, and my husband just took my side, so I am a first-time mom, and this whole experience has been very overwhelming for me. My wonderful baby just hit 3 months and is officially no longer a newborn. I have been lucky enough that I have good supply, so my baby girl is exclusively breastfeed, except for any excess that we use when my husband does her night feeds. I have made it very clear to most of our friends and family that I don't want anyone but me or my husband feeding her. My mother-in-law has been slightly annoyed, bordering on judgmental about this, but has mostly kept her mouth shut. We have never had any issues in the past, so I just chalked it up to her wanting to bond with the baby. I might allow it when she's older, but for now I'm not comfortable with anyone else doing it. So we were over at my in-Sil house for her son's birthday, and while all the cousins and husbands played outside, me and all the ladies sat inside playing Pass the Baby. She ends up in my MIL arms and begins to fuss and make her hungry cry. I stood up and went to take her before she pulled her back and told me to go make a bottle. I told her no, that I would go to the guest room and feed her. My sister-in-law stood too and said she had some formula and would make it for me. I refused again and quickly took my baby, saying she's never had formula and I don't want her to be sick. My Mael sighs and rolls her eyes and asks, "Why don't you just pump some so I can feed my baby?" I must have been visibly horrified because one of my other sisters-in-law stood and tried to guide me away by my shoulder. I took her to the other room to feed her and sat in there with her for the rest of the party. The sister-in-law whose party it was came to find me. I almost hit her when she said, "Don't you think it's a little selfish you won't let mom feed the baby? You could have just pumped a couple ounces for her." I said I will never pump anything for anyone because I'm not a cow, and she's my baby. She declared I was being bitchy and walked away. My husband doesn't know this is all happening, but on the ride home, his mother and 2 of the other wives texted me to tell me it was unfair to hog my baby and to make it so she couldn't bond with anyone else, and that I should have just pumped before I came so I didn't have to hide her away. My mail specifically said that I was being so selfish with her only granddaughter, and it wasn't fair to her that she couldn't even feed her baby. I just texted back that it wasn't her baby and put my phone on, "Do not disturb." I know I should tell my husband, but I don't want to add more strain as he and his mother are still trying to heal their relationship from when they had a big fight a couple years ago. I don't want to cause drama, but I'm starting to feel very guilty, especially since I'm still getting tons of texts about how cruel I'm being. Am I the AH for refusing to pump for my MIL? Edit. Small bit of context. My little sister choked whilst being fed by our great aunt and almost died. She hadn't been holding her properly, and my sister had to be rushed to the hospital. I was very young, but the memory is still very fresh in my mind, even when my husband is feeding our baby. I never want my baby to be unsafe while being fed, and I worry about other people feeding her because of this. Edit 2. I have absolutely nothing against formula, and I absolutely would have supplemented if needed. I ended up getting very lucky to have adequate supply for my baby. Formula is necessary for so many mothers out there, and while breast is technically better, I don't think anyone should be shamed for needing to use formula or choosing not to breastfeed. My daughter's pediatrician told me he prefers I keep her on breast milk as long as I can, and that formula could potentially lead to her getting stomach upset. Relevant comments. Commenter 1, NTA. As you said, you are not a cow. This is the natural way for this to go because we were made to breastfeed and bond with our babies. Mill already had her babies and her baby bonding. OOP, thank you. They were really starting to get to me, and I was worried maybe I was really just being mean with her. Commenter 2, NTA. They actively got bonding time. What do they think holding the baby is? Bonding time. Feeding a baby is not the only way to bond with them. Neither of my daughters took a bottle. My parents still bonded with her plenty. I actually think they only ever gave a handful of bottles to my son because I was pretty adamant on the beginning about being the only one to give him a bottle once a night. He nursed every other feeding. Since my husband was gone for training and couldn't have that experience, my son is a total Grammy's boy at almost 5 years old. My middle is a complete Papa's girl at almost 2. They didn't need to feed them bottles in order to create the bond they have with them. My daughter actually was not fond of my dad until she was about 10 months old. She would scream if he even looked at her. Sounds like MIL and your SILs are just boundary stompers and have zero respect for you. OOP. I guess all the other wives have let her feed their babies. My husband had 4 brothers and 1 sister, and of them all, I'm the only one who's had a girl. It's been a whole fuss. and I've already let her have so much more time with baby than I would have liked. My FIL couldn't care less and doesn't even want to hold her, but he's not a baby guy. It's also hard because I don't have my parents in my life, so I want her to have grandparents, and I want to keep the peace. Commenter 3. Not telling your husband just allows MIL to slant the event to her advantage. Keeping secrets from your husband, even for his own good, is bad precedent. NTA. OOP. I'm definitely sitting him down when he gets home from work. I hate to make their relationship worse, but this whole thing is making me realize she probably shouldn't have a ton of access to me or baby. OOP responds to a downvoted comment about not having bottles available for the family to feed the baby. Only her husband is allowed to do so. OOP. I don't bring bottles with me typically. I just don't like it. It stresses me out sometimes even when my husband feeds her, cause I'm afraid she'll choke. It's more of a personal thing than anything. I do bring the pump for overflow when going out, but I produce enough that sometimes I just have to dump. Commenter 4. NTA. Looks as if she tried a sneak attack with the whole, I'll go get some formula plan from your SIL. It was planned out that way. You are right as far as your baby getting sick if suddenly fed formula. I'd tell your husband the next time he wants you to be around your MIL. Tell him everything and that you may not want to be left alone with her next time you are at a gathering, especially since she used a flying monkey to try to get you to take her off of breast milk. OOP. If I tell him he may cut her off for a while entirely. Someone said I'm making my village small and it's my fault and it'll be hard on my baby, which is making me worry that I should just start letting others people feed her. Is OOP's husband a mommy's boy and resolve the fight he had with his mother? OOP. Luckily he's not. He resolved the fight because he missed his dad and his siblings and wanted the baby to have grandparents. He's never gone into details about the fight, but he's certainly not at her beck and call like his brothers are. Update 1. So after everyone's suggestions, I decided I was going to talk to my husband when he go home from work. I put baby down to sleep before initially posting, and I posted because of all the messages from MIL and SILs. Apparently his oldest brother's wife had called him today at work and told him what my mother had said and what the other wives had said when I left the room. We sat at the kitchen table, and I had him read the messages from start to finish. He was upset with me at first for keeping it from him, then hugged me and said he hated that I had to go through this alone. He went upstairs to call his mother. He told me after about 10 minutes on the phone that until baby is a year, MIL will have minimal contact, as well as his sister not being allowed around the baby either. He told me to block both their numbers for the time being, and so I did. He also told me that their fight 2 years ago was over, his mother trying to get him back with his ex right after he proposed to me, and that's why they stopped talking for the rest of that year. He said he told his mother that if she pushes for more next time, we give her an opportunity that it would be her last chance at a granddaughter. This has all progressed so quickly, and everyone was right about talking to my husband. I wish I had gone right to him when it happened, but I was so worried to put more strain. Thank you for all the advice. Relevant comments. Commenter 1. Kudos to your SIL that called your husband, and major kudos to your husband. Just worry about taking care of yourself and little one and let your husband handle the rest. OOP. I just want to savor her as much as I can while she's still so little. I love my husband for all that he does, and I couldn't love that SIL more if I tried. She definitely getting a gift basket. Commenter 2. And when you are ready to have someone else give her a bottle with breast milk, the formula part made me go, WTF? Might I suggest this, Auntie? At some point, you and hubby do deserve to get a babysitter and have a date night. OOP, absolutely. She's a total savior. She has like 3 boys of her own, and they've the most well-behaved of all the cousins. She was the one who tried to pull me away from the situation. Commenter 3. Can't blame you for being worried about straining things, but glad y'all sorted it out. Stand her ground, and remember, it's apt what's best for her family unit, not coming off as the good DIL. OOP, I've realized during this, she already has plenty of good DIL and doesn't need me to add to her pile. I hope that she grows, and we're able to have a decent relationship. I want nothing more than to make sure my baby has lots of loving family. OOP responds to a downvoted comment on creating unnecessary drama with her husband's family. OOP, how is it a power play? I tried my best to encourage her bonding with the baby but drew that line at being milked like a cow. He already has a difficult relationship with his mother that far predates our relationship. I intentionally kept it to myself so as to not cause drama with her. Update 2. Hubby got home early tonight and we checked my phone together. Messages totaled out to MIL 14 voicemail, 23 calls, 67 texts, SIL, 8 Facebook messages, 4 phone calls, 17 texts, file but clearly from Mill, 4 more voicemail, 5 calls, and 31 texts. I let my husband handle them as I didn't feel like reading them while already feeling so stressed about it. Afterwards, he took about an hour to calm down in the basement. The messages, from what little he did feel comfortable telling me where, about how I was tearing the family apart with my selfish behavior, and why do I even bring baby around if I don't want them bonding with her. The one voicemail was 20 or so minutes long, and it was apparently just her talking about how all the kids are both BF and formula fed so grandma can help, and I'm depriving myself of her assistance. I heard part of her rant saying how she knows best because she had 6 kids on 7/8 at the same time, and that me being so particular is going to make other babies impossible for me, which is unfair because she wants 2 granddaughters, and I'm the only one that can give them to her. My girl is the first girl baby, and all 12 of her cousins are boys. Husband made one phone call and told her if she is going to just drain my phone battery, she will permanently blocked from my phone. I called my OB today to talk about possibly getting a consult for a therapist to talk about my potential PPA. While I'm sure this situation certainly is adding to it, I want to be as healthy as I can for my baby. Top comments. Commenter 1. I'm proud of you for letting your husband see firsthand what treatment you're receiving. You and he are a team. Commenter 2. Indeed, in this situation, having a reliable husband who stands by her side is very fortunate. I hope OP can successfully address her mother-in-law's pressure and overcome this challenge. Commenter 3. NTA. You are mom. You and dad are on the same page. His opinion matters, not hers. Mill has already raised her children. She's not entitled to raise yours. If you feel even a hint of something that feels postpartum, please do talk to someone. It's no joke and can just sneak up on you. Stay strong, mom. She's still a baby. She has her whole life to bond with people. Commenter 4. That's honestly insane behavior, and once again kudos to the husband. Maybe suggest he look into a counselor for himself. I'm so happy you are because PPD is no joke and all the added stress you're dealing with does not help. Keep up the good work, mama. Update 3. So since this all started, my husband had fully cut contact with all but his oldest brother and his wife. The rest of his siblings and in-laws were all firmly on MIL side. Everything has been peaceful, aside from the occasional phone card from an unknown number. He spoke with his mother in person one time while I was at a checkup for baby. He told her that he is uncomfortable with her being in our and the baby's life while she's treating me this way. He said that she cried and tried to switch blame onto me about the situation, which he refused. She has shown up once or twice just to leave gifts for baby. I have eased up a bit on my anxiety and have had 2 therapy appointments so far. I am very lucky as my job gave me an extension for maternity leave. I talked to baby's PED, and he recommended a good brand of formula for us to have on hand for any emergency. I appreciate all the support, and I apologize for the underwhelming update. I don't think my mother-in-law is necessarily a bad person, but she's used to getting her ways, especially with her family and the other women. I may update again if anything else drastic happens, but baby is happy and healthy and meeting all her milestones, and I couldn't be more thrilled. Relevant/top comments. Commenter 1. You should always have some formula, just in case you need it. OOP. Luckily, my pediatrician recommended a good one, so I have a can on hand now. He said it's a good idea to introduce it soon just to see how she takes it, but she's doing extremely well on breast and wants me to make sure I am able to BF as long as possible. Commenter 2. I'm glad your husband stood up for you. Sounds like you've got a good guy there. Stay strong. You're doing a great job of not allowing yourself to be bullied and setting a great precedent for your child. NTA.